Hi everyone, my name is Hector, and today we're going to talk about the 5 things you gotta know about Alpha Lock. But wait, isn't Alpha Lock destructive? Shouldn't we use something else? It's a one-trick pony, right? Well, now that we use it with these 5 different tools, yeah, it's easy. Come on, let's get started. Thing number 1, transformation. So we have this layer, and it's an Alpha Lock, and all we want to do is just change this sail. Just give it just a little bit more movement. If we did this traditional way, which is you go to the transformation tool right here, tap that one time, and choose warp, and advanced mesh, and we start moving things around. It also moves everything else around. So this is not what we want to do. So let's go back and go there, double tap. So we're back. This is how I do it. I go to selection, the selection tool right here, tap it once, choose freehand, and then I start drawing around the one thing that I want to change. In this case, it's going to be the sail. There we go. Now I go to the transformation tool. Warp is already chosen. And for more precision control, gonna go to advanced mesh. Tap that one time. There we go. Now we activated these little dots. They're called handles. And what's interesting is once we start reshaping the sail, it just starts indicating the movement and actually like how far we've actually changed it. So in this case, we can go here and then probably move these just a little bit. You know, you see how I move this one? It really only moves this grid. It's not absolute, but it's really close to it. So this grid has changed a little bit. Now we're going to move this one up a little bit just to give the illusion of that a gust of wind going through there. Now see that gap? We can do this one here and we can reconnect it like so. And on this side, same thing. So let's go ahead and repair that one. Like that. Okay. And that's how I use transformation on an Alpha Lock. Oh, and here are the steps. Thing number 2, painting. So now we want to paint. Well, we could do a color drop on Alpha Lock. You know what's going to happen. Here. Boom. That's going to happen. Paint's going everywhere. We don't want that. All we want to do is just select an area where the paint's going to drop. So that was our clue. It's going to be a selection tool. Tapping that one time. Freehand being chosen. And all we're going to do is just draw around the object that we want to paint. Like that. Okay. There we go. Now when we do a color drop, boom, goes where it's supposed to go. If we want to do some details, if we wanted to go and do some shadowing, we can do that now. We can tap here, just go a little darker, like that, and get a brush. That looks good, that looks good, that looks good. And we just start painting away. Obviously, we have edge control because it's an Alpha Lock. So let's just go ahead and just start going just a little deeper into the grays, go back into the lighter side. And now we can do our highlights. I go ahead and just start just working it in. Like that. Okay, that looks good. Now, here's the thing I want you to walk away with. Let me expand this. So when you see a pattern like this, all that means has just been protected by the selection that we did. Now, why do we have really good edge control? Because at the end of the day, it's still an Alpha Lock. Cool, huh? So this next one, it's one of those thinking out of the box type of things. I think you're gonna like it. Oh, and if you're taking notes, it's right there. Thing number 3, clipping mask. Okay, so here we have our layer lock. Now we want to work on some details. So let's go ahead and get the brush and just start painting in some stripe. One big stripe, there you go. Now this is awesome, but we don't have any control of the lighting, the shading, or anything. If we go to the layers icon, tap that one time, we have no control over the opacity nor the blend modes because everything changes, right? So let's take that back. Let's reverse this. Now we do a clipping mask. Let's tap there one time and hit the plus sign. Tap anywhere in the blue one time, boom, and choose clipping mask. Tap. There you see a little arrows pointing down. It's linked to this layer. Even though it's an alpha lock, it still works. Check it out. Now we're just going to go ahead and play with the opacity. Ah, that's kind of cool, huh? Complete control. Leave that at 67%. And we're going to choose color burn. There we go. Now it looks like it's part of the sail. Let me blow that up a little bit. That's super cool, isn't it? That's a clipping mask over an alpha lock. And the how-to is right there. Thing number 4, layer mask. All right, this is where we left off. We had a clipping mask that was over an alpha lock layer. And we did that because we wanted this stripe, we wanted absolute control. But what if I was going to tell you, we want even more? Yeah, we do. So let's go up to the top here, see where the layer icon is, tap it once. Now we're going to tap anywhere in the blue, one time, boom. And we're going to choose mask, tap there once, boom. Now we end up with this thumbnail. Now back in the old Photoshop days, when I used to do that, I used to use mask a lot. And it was kind of cool because it was almost like a magic eraser. Because white revealed and black concealed. We would use color to remove, but we also would use color to bring back. So if white reveals, black conceals, everything in the middle is a form of transparency. Here, let me show you. So let's go there. So it's like almost a middle gray. Let's choose the brush, go there. Airbrush is good. Size, something like that. And 50% or so, that's good. All I'm gonna do is just do light strokes. Anyway, this is the size of my brush. Can you see that? So I'm just gonna go in and just real lightly go in here. And I'm basically just removing just a little bit of color. Almost a nothing, but it's just good enough to just add that sort of distressed look. Now we can go deeper. We can go back to color. And now we can choose black. Tap there one time to get your black. And use an inking brush, maybe something like this. And this one's not very big. It's probably somewhere in the 9% range, and opacity is going to be at 100. I'm just going to remove some of this green to create stripes. So like this and like that. And if I thought I made a mistake, I can always go back to color. Tap here one time. Double tap in the white just to get pure white. There we go, pure white. I can always go back and bring back what I erased. So we can go back and erase again. So we can tap there one time, double tap anywhere in the black to get pure black. There we go. And once again, we can remove some of the green. How cool is that? That's the layer mask over a clipping mask over an alpha lock. All right, the how-to is right there. thing number 5, Alpha Lock. Did he really say Alpha Lock? Yeah, yeah, I did. Because this is what I want to do. Let's open this up a little bit. The 3 stripes. I want to do a pattern brush, but I want to retain 3 things. The shadows, the highlights, and the opacities. Now, I can do that with an Alpha Lock, and I'll show you how. Let's go to the top. There we go. Layers are open, and we're going to activate layer 2. That's where the clipping mask is. Tap that one time. And now what we want to do is choose Alpha Lock. Tap it. Tap. There you go. There you see the world famous checkerboard in the back. And I already chosen my pattern brush. So all I'm going to do is just work it in like this. And there you go. I kept my shadows, I kept my highlights, and I also kept my opacity. And I could only do this because it was an Alpha Lock. But seriously, do we have to use all these tools together all the time? No, not really. But when you use an Alpha Lock and you want to just go just a little further, these are the tools to use. And they're there. Why not? It's just going to make your art just better. Oh, and there's more stuff coming. So yeah, make sure you subscribe. Anyway, gotta go.